Yeah, I just have one question. Just from the room title, are you saying that according to 12 or Shia, Ismailis are kafirs and not Muslims? Because that's what your room title implies. So are you takfiring us or what?
Yeah, so first of all, to have kufri arguments or kufri beliefs does not entail being kuffar. But specifically, when it comes to the Agha Khanis, not the Ismailis, I think you should not generalize, okay, because there are Ismailis who pray, there are give the flimsy excuses which have been refuted.
Sayyid, your voice cut off for a second.
Yeah, let me leave and saying, if you can hear me now.
Yes, we can hear.
Yeah, so I'm saying,
to save you time, are Nizari Ismailis who follow the Imama of Shakir Imam Husseini Agha Khan, are they kafirs or are they Muslims?
Yeah, you're kuffar. You're kuffar. Okay. That's what I believe.
So do I'm just not clear. Do 12 or laymen have the authority to declare a group that professes Islam as kuffar?
No, I'm not declaring. I don't have the power to. But based on the
but you just said that. But you believe
no. Listen, right? Based on the established ahkam in our school of thought. If you don't deem these 5 prayers to be obligatory, you don't deem the fasting to be obligatory, you don't deem the Hajj to be obligatory, yeah, you're a kafir. Whoever you may be, whether you're Nizari or whatever you may call yourself.
Okay. Are you saying that, is this what your marja taught you, or are you saying that based on your own opinion?
No. This is on the basis that based on the ahkam, there's no specific fatwa.
Your marja say, I'm just curious, bro. I'm not even going to argue with you about this. I just want to know from my own knowledge.
Yeah, so
when you say this,
so you do not listen. It doesn't need it. First of all, who says it needs interpretation? Who says it needs interpretation? You don't pray.
I'm asking.
You don't fast. You don't go to Hajj.
Where are you getting it from? Are you getting it from this is your understanding, or did the marja say this? Who's your marja, by the way?
Should I get you? Should I get you? Yeah, this is based on the fatawas. It's based on the fatawas. It's based on the fatwas. It's based on the fatwas of our scholars that whoever denies that the salah and the saum and the hajj, these are the compulsory tenets of Islam. If you deny the arkan of the religion, of course you're a kafir.
Okay, and by arkan you mean like a specific law?
The what? Can you repeat?
By arkan, do you mean any law or just a particular ritual like praying?
The pillars. When we're talking about arkan, we're talking about the pillars of the religion, the fundamentals and the furu'.
Okay, so to be clear, this is what your marja teaches?
This is not my marja. This is the teaching of the Shia. Even this is even the teachings of the Sunnis. Anybody, this is the teachings of the Muslims.
Okay.
And even if you
your marja, who's your marja, by the way? I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Even if you bring an akhbari here, he will tell you the same thing.
No, I'm not talking about akhbari. I'm talking about you, Rafid. So you follow. I'm gonna guess you follow Khamanei.
No. So the marja.
Does your marja?
No. Listen to me. I don't follow. Okay, this divide and conquer you're trying to play here, you snake. Listen, it doesn't work with me. Okay.
Look, I have a very simple question. I'm not even arguing.
Yeah, so the marja I follow is not your business. Let me finish. Let me speak. Let me speak.
Who I assume is
Let me speak. Let me speak.
I'm happy to let you speak. Let me ask the question.
You've asked the question.
Does Khamenei, your marja, teach that anyone who rejects prayer or fasting or Hajj is not a Muslim? And does he specifically say the Ismailis are not Muslims on these grounds? I'm just curious. I don't know. I'm asking you.
Yeah. So there is no specific. Okay, at least I haven't seen any specific fatwa targeting your Agha Khani cult. Okay, but whether Khamenei or Sistani or Sadiq al-Shirazi or whichever of Amaraja, anybody who denied the arkan of their religion, okay, like Salah, Saum, Zakat, Khoms, and all this, when you deny them that these are actually obligatory practices of the religion, Hajj to Mecca, if you deny these things, then you're not a Muslim.
Okay.
So if it is established, as you haven't denied, if it is established that you do not go to Hajj, you do not give zakat, you do not do this, you don't believe these are actually obligatory practices in the religion, you deny them. Okay, not that you do not observe them out of maybe laziness, but you deny them specifically that they are not part of the religion or they are not to be observed, then yes, this amounts to kufr. This is kufr akbar. You're a kafir.
Okay. So my understanding is that you, based on the principle that anyone who does not believe in the performance of a certain Islamic ritual is a kafir. Is that accurate? Is this your view?
No, now you're doing what you do best, Khalil. What you do is Tadlis.
I'm just trying to understand. So
don't bro me, my
friend. Where did
I'm telling you one thing and you're telling me another thing.
Okay.
I'm telling you one thing. I am telling you one thing.
Believe that
I am telling you one thing. Listen to me. I'm not here to be. I'm not here to be interrogated. Listen to me.
I'm not interrogating you.
Listen.
I'm asking for clarification.
Yeah. So if anyone has to be interrogated here, it's you for actually, twisting our beliefs. For example, the issue of Bada. You keep repeating, you keep lying because you're a very big liar. You keep lying. You say Bada. The Shia say Bada is Allah changing his mind. Do you have any evidence that the Shias, their scholars or their lay people say Bada means Allah changes his mind?
I'm happy to come to. I'm happy to talk about this, but I just want to finish this first issue because the issue of takfir is
the first issue important. Is very clear. The first issue is very clear. It's a general ruling. It's a general ruling.
Okay,
you,
but is there a
you do not
ruling?
fast. Yeah, you do not. Bro, you do not fast. You do not fast in the month of Ramadan. You say your mind fast. You don't go to Hajj to Mecca. You don't find the need to go to Hajj. You say your Imam.
Okay. As you faded out.
Certain arkan or pillars of the religion on the teachings of Islam generally. If you deny the arkan of Islam,
my friend,
you're not.
I understand your view. I understand what you're saying. Okay, if you're saying that if a person professes Islam, but if they deny even one of the ritual arkan, they're not a Muslim. That's what you're saying, and you think
don't call it a ritual. Don't call it a ritual. Say a fundamental. These are fundamental beliefs.
Well, but
or fundamental practices.
You're talking about practices. Okay, so I'll call it a practice.
Yeah, fundamental. You can say the branches of the religion.
Is there a specific? I'm asking. I don't know. Is there a specific fatwa where Ayatollah Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, specifically says the Ismailis are not Muslims because they don't do these particular rituals? Did you hear me? I'll repeat it. Is there a particular fatwa from Ayatollah Khamenei, supreme leader of Iran, that says that the Ismailis are not Muslims because they don't believe in these particular religious obligations?
Okay, so again, you don't understand. Like, I don't understand, or you acting like you don't understand, or you don't want to understand. You don't. No. Listen to me. Listen to me. Don't be a khabir. Don't be filthy. Listen, Khalil. Listen.
Brother,
Don't
I
try to
just
be
want a
filthy
yes or
as
a no.
usual. Okay. First of
Is
all,
there,
I
you
never
prior
told you.
said that you're not
No,
aware of it. So are you
listen
sure
to
you're
me.
not aware of
Listen to me. Listen to me. I never told you specifically.
You keep shutting off for some reason.
So my connection is really weak, but I can hear what you say. So if you would allow me to speak.
Let me repeat, just in case you misheard. Is there a fatwa of Ayatollah Khamenei, Supreme Leader of Iran, that specifically says that the Nizari Ismailis, who don't do these religious obligations you speak of, are not Muslims on those grounds?
No, he doesn't need to, because you're not significant. I don't think he needs to waste his time on you, honestly.
So there isn't. Okay. Hypothetically, okay, I don't know. You know better than me. In the future, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if there was a fatwa where Khamenei says Ismailis are not Muslims, would you accept that fatwa?
Sayyid, I don't see the point of his questions.
Just let me finish. Do you hear me? You don't need any marja. Okay. Hypothetically, to say, some in the Salah be observed. Okay. If Khamenei said in a fatwa that the Nizari Ismailis are Muslims, even though they don't perform these obligations, if he says they are Muslims, will you change your view? Let me repeat. If Ayatollah Khamenei, Supreme Leader of Iran, said in another fatwa that the Ismailis, the Nizari Ismailis, are Muslims, even though they don't believe in any of these religious obligations, would you change your view, Rafid, and accept us as Muslims and stop takfiring? Can the rest of you guys on stage hear me, or is it a problem on mine?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we can hear you.
my connection. Can you hear me, Sayyid? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Rafid, did you hear my question, or should I repeat it?
I don't think we hear you.
We can't hear you, man.
Yeah, repeat your question.
Okay, I still can't hear you. Maybe you can type your response in the
He asked you to repeat the question.
Okay. He said he didn't know whether Khamenei has referred to Nizari Ismailis or not. So my question is, if Khamenei at some future date says that the Nizari Ismailis are Muslims, even though we don't do these religious obligations, would Rafid accept Khamenei's fatwa that we are Muslims, and would he stop takfiring us?
Can you repeat now, please? I was adjusting my connection. I think it should be better now.
Okay. If in the future Ayatollah Khamenei makes a fatwa specifically about Nizari Ismailis and says we are Muslims, even though we do not believe in these religious obligations like the namaz and the hajj, if he says we are Muslims, would you accept that fatwa and stop takfiring us, or would you disagree with the marja?
Yeah, so if he actually passes such a fatwa, which I don't think he would, Okay, I don't think you're going to bribe him. Okay, you're not going to bribe him, the way you bribe those academics in your Ismaili what do you call it? Ismaili Institute. Those you call academics. You bribe them in order to write articles, proving your whatever. I don't think you can bribe Ayatollah Khamenei to actually release a fatwa that somebody who says going to Hajj is not obligatory or part of the religion is actually a Muslim. I don't think Khamenei or any marja would actually do that. But, let's assume, theoretically, let's say the impossible actually happens. If a marja actually does this, and it's more or less a mistake, okay, and he's not ma'soom, if he does this, I will have the option of changing my marja. It's very simple.
So would you? Is that how? I'm just curious now. This is besides the point. So, if a marja made a fatwa and you thought like you disagreed with it, such as hypothetically, Khamanei saying that Ismailis are Muslim, Nizari Ismailis are Muslims, even though they don't perform, prayers, you would change your marja?
Yeah, so basically you are asking a very impossible question. It's like saying like, what if a marja says Shiva is a true god? Muslims should actually honor Shiva as a true god. Would you change your marja? Well, of course. This is actually denying, a fundamental of the religion. So it's similar. If you're actually doing ta'an on the arkan of the religion, on the pillars of the religion, and a marja is coming to say, oh, you know what? No, it's fine, let them don't pray, let them don't fast, even if they don't, even if they say it's not obligatory, it's fine, they are still, Muslims. I think, such a marja, most of his followers may have a rethink, and if you, of course, the basis of following a marja is his knowledge. Okay, so first of all, it's actually an insult to even dream that Ayatollah Khamenei or any of our Ayatollahs will actually release a fatwa encouraging people not to pray. So I think this is actually, it's just theoretical. It's not even what.
I don't want to be misquoted. I'm not saying that an Ayatollah could release a fatwa encouraging people not to pray. That's not what I said. I simply said if Ayatollah Khamenei or any Ayatollah, if they released a fatwa specifically dealing with Ismailis who don't observe the religious obligations that you talked about, but he said that these Ismailis are still Muslims, whether you'd accept that or whether you would, leave that marja, go to a different one. I'm just curious. I don't know what your view is. So I'm not talking about this other stuff that he would tell 12ers, okay, you don't have to pray. I'm talking about a ruling specifically about a group like the Ismailis who does not actually do the obligatory prayer because they don't believe in
that. Well, first of all, I think a brother has actually done us a huge favor. Like, for example, Grand Ayatollah Muhammad Hussein Najafi, may Allah have mercy on his soul. He has a fatwa, and he says, you people, specifically the Agha Khanis.
Okay, well, you may have to change your marja then. Maybe you should change your marja to him. Because
why should I change my marja?
Because Ayatollah Khamenei has given a fatwa specifically about Ismailis who don't profess these religious obligations, and he said that we're Muslims. It's on his website in English.
Can you bring the fatwa? Can you bring the fatwa?
Sure. So this
can you bring the fatwa?
Yeah. So let me read it. So it's there are several questions that are asked. Including a question about
No. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
There is a difference between reading. No. I'm asking you to give me the fatwa. I'm not asking you to read because I don't trust your reading.
Sorry, you don't want me to read the fatwa?
No, I'm asking you to give me a link to the fatwa. Paste the fatwa on the room chat.
Okay. It's gonna be pasted. 1 second. Apparently, it's already been pasted. I'm not sure why it's not showing up, but try it again. All right. Yeah, okay, it was already there. It's pasted. So to save you some time, the specific questions about Ismailis who believe in the first 6 imams and do not believe in any of the religious obligations, that's what the question is about. This is question number 319. And before that, after that question, another group known as Ahl Haq is also asked about their status because they also don't pray. And frankly, to both questions, I won't read it for you, but he basically says that you cannot be declared a kafir for rejecting a particular thing in the Islamic law. And he recognizes Ismailis as Muslims. So you need to change your marja now. Maybe you can go to Sistani, but Sistani gave a fatwa that Ismailis are also Muslims. That wouldn't work for you either. So I guess you need to go marja shopping, huh?
And
question
no.
319.
That's not correct. Just a minute. I will check the fatwa. Let me read it, okay?
Well, so you were not aware of it. So what kind of a person are you? You weren't even aware of the fatwa, and you're going takfiring groups when your own marja says that we are Muslims. And in fact, your own marja does not agree with your criterion. You said anyone who denies of the ritual arkan is not a Muslim. Your marja says the opposite. Like, what an embarrassment this is for you, Rafed. Maybe you should stop doing these silly rooms and go learn your religion before you start attacking others.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I'm sorry, Dr. Khalil, but this is kind of a cop-out. You know,
it's
like
not a cop
even
out. I'm not. What cop out?
it is.
This is a clear
I'm sorry,
fatwa.
but it
Like
is. Yeah, it's a fatwa.
Khalil, he just started speaking,
Even a murderer.
and you started
Dr.
cutting
Khalil,
him out.
You guys
Dr.
are
Khalil.
a big joke.
No, Khalil,
Dr. Khalil.
we aren't
Dr.
asking you. We aren't asking you to speak over us. We aren't asking you. We did not invite you up on stage. We did not invite you up on stage so you can cut us off. You understand?
I don't know who it is you listen to. Is
We did not invite you up on stage to cut us off. Okay, we'll let you go on the rant, and then once you're done with letting your feelings out, venting, then we can speak.
It's not a feeling. We
are being please go ahead. Let it out.
We are being
let it out.
by this person
Let it out.
Who has no credentials, and now what we're getting treated with is a bunch of copium. Although it's not even that much because you guys seem to be speechless about this. I mean, it's all there.
No, Ayashi, don't speak, please.
The fatwa actually says, right, that the sole rejection of the imamat of the last 6 imams, or any rule from among the rules of Islamic law, so long that does not amount to rejecting Islamic religion or the prophethood of the prophet, does not entail them being non-Muslim. That's what he says with respect to Ismailis. If you go 2-3 questions down, okay, he gives a very similar answer about the Ahl Haq, which is a group that believes in 12 imams, but they don't pray. Okay, so this standard that we've been hearing like throughout the room today, if you reject Hajj, or if you reject prayers, or if you reject whatever ritual, you're a kafir. This is not the standard that Ayatollah Khamenei goes by when he's asked about specific groups. It's all very clear in this document, which is from an official government of Iran website with his fatwas. And he specifically spoke about Ismailis. So look, you can criticize us, criticize our beliefs. I really don't care about that. Like, that's your right. You can be as polemical as you want, but you can't go when you're a layman, okay, calling us kuffar. A layman doesn't have that right. Only your maraja have that right. And on this case, Rafid and any other of you takfiri folks, you are going against your marja. And that's just pure hypocrisy. You can't go preaching your religion to people who are not 12er when you cannot comply with doing taqleed of the marja that you believe in. It's frankly a big joke.
Can I just say something very quick?
No, please, because Brother Ed started speaking first. Yeah.
Thank you, Sayyid. The reason why I said this is a cop-out is just because you're a Muslim does not mean you're upon haqq. You can be a Muslim and have kafir beliefs. You can be a Muslim and you can be a murderer. You get tried as a Muslim. In Islamic court, you get tried as a Muslim if you're a murderer. You can be a Muslim and you can be a liar. You can be a Muslim and you can have kafir beliefs. If Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam took his lineage and put him in a desert just so that they can pray. ربنا أني أسكنت من ذريتي بواد غير ذي زرع عند بيتك الحرام ربنا ليقيموا الصلاة. So Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam took his lineage from civilization to a desert so they can pray. Who are we to say that we can cancel out Islamic beliefs and you can still be a righteous Muslim? Or you can cancel out Islamic obligations and you can still be a righteous Muslim? It does not make any sense. Sure, you're technically a Muslim.
Claim. That's not my claim. I didn't come here to argue.
I'm simply responding to the... Khamenei is saying,
he's saying... I don't want you to waste your time on answering an argument I didn't make. I'm only saying, in response to the claim, according to Rafid, Ismailis are legally not Muslims. And he gave a specific ruling and all this stuff. He gave a legal principle. And if you want to say that we are liars, we are misguided, we're not on the haqq, we are in error, no problem. I don't care about that. I really don't. Like, we can talk about that because, frankly, as Ismailis, we think 12ers are in error. If we didn't think you were in error, we'd be 12ers. But the point is, we recognize legally in this world you're Muslims, and this is the only issue that I came to speak about. I don't really care about the rest of the stuff.
Okay, but say that.
Okay, so brother Ed, can I, because my connection is actually very bad. Sorry for cutting you. Where is he? Did he run away? Okay, so possibly he ran away. So first of all, in the fatwa, the question is, they do not observe the religious obligations, okay? Not observing the religious obligations is one thing, okay? So let's understand the technical wording here. If you do not observe the religious obligations, okay? This is one thing. Now, if you don't observe the religious obligations, either out of maybe negligence or out of maybe, a carefree attitude, that's one thing. But if you do not observe the obligations, sorry, did somebody remove him or did he leave?
He definitely left. Because the last thing he said was, that's all I
knew the answer was coming. He knew the answer was coming. So,
most definitely.
Yeah, I pinned this link, and I will read the fatwa, which they have actually brought, or Kalim actually pinned on the room chat. Kalim in the audience. I will actually read this. Okay, this is the English translation. It says, there exists a sect in our region and in some other places that call itself Ismaili. Though they profess faith in the first 6 Imams, they do not believe in any of the religious obligations or in the authority of the jurist leader. Okay, now they do not believe in the obligations, they don't follow the obligations. So he said, the sole rejection of imama of the last 6 Imams, or any rule from among the rules of Islamic law, so long as that does not amount to rejecting Islamic religion, so in other words, this is what? This is conditional. He said, so long as that does not amount to rejecting Islamic religion or the prophethood of the prophet, does not entail them being non-Muslim and najis unless they abuse or insult any of the infallible Imams. Now, as far as I am concerned, over here, like on Khalil in particular, Khalil has insulted our Imams. Like, for example, Nifs Sha'ban, on the mid of Sha'ban, he actually mocked Imam al-Mahdi. So he's a kafir. So based on the fatwa that he has brought, I will implicate him going by his tweets. That's number one. Secondly, rejecting not observing the obligations of the religion. Check this. This is a common. Now, if Khamenei is using maybe some, primary account or whatever he's basing his fatwa on, That's one thing. But the most fundamental law that we have is that you can read here, and this is for both the Sunnis and the Shias. You can check this link, which I will read out. It's in Arabic and I will translate it. It says, السؤال, okay? السؤال: السادة القائمون على هذا الموقع المبارك، السلام عليكم. سؤال: ما هي عقوبات تارك الصلاة؟ بحثت في جوجل ولم أجد إلا إجابات من مذاهب أخرى. So the question is, the masters on this website, that's the shuyukh, the clerics, the sheikh that is answering here is called Sheikh Salih al-Kurbasi. Now the question is, what's the penalty for leaving Salah? The person said he searched on Google, he's a Shi'i, and he didn't find answers except from other madhahib. So look at the answer here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh wa ba'd. Hukum tarikus salah. The judgment or the ruling on somebody who leaves salah. حكم تارك الصلاة إذا كان تركه لها تساهلا وتسامحا منه فهو فاسق، وإما إذا كان تركه لها عن إنكار لوجوبها بلا شبهة فهو كافر، ويجب أمره بالمعروف في كل الحالات. Okay, so it says here, the hukum, the command on somebody who leaves salah, if he leaves the salah out of leniency or kind of, he's relaxed, first, this person is a fasik. But if he actually leaves it based on denial upon its obligatoriness or being obligatory without a shubha, this person is a kafir. And he should actually be commanded to do it. In other words, amr bil ma'ruf, you should enjoin him in goodness to do it in all account. عقاب تارك الصلاة قال الله عز وجل كل نفس بما كسبت رهينة إلا أصحاب اليمين. So this is like it's most common ruling, that if you say that the salah, if you don't observe the salah out of laziness or whatever, carefree attitude, then you're a fasik. But if you actually refuse to observe the salah, guess why? Because you think it is not obligatory, then of course you're a kafir. These people, they will tell you salah is not part of the religion. So what do you want us to do? To clap for you? No. If Ayatollah Khamenei knows what you're saying and he's given such a fatwa, yeah, I will actually change my marja. I wouldn't mind. For this specific reason, I will follow a marja, for example, like the marja that the brother earlier on posted on the room chat. I think Muhammad Hussein al-Najafi, he passes a fatwa that you guys are kuffar, because this is a common belief among the Muslims. You're denying a major tenet of the religion and you want us to clap for you. No, we are not going to clap for you. We are not going to do that. And besides, Ayatollah Khamenei, he's actually a head of state. Now if you go and ask him about Sunnis, he will give you the most, the sweetest answers about Sunnis, for example, because he's a head of state and he has to, he has to look at the maslaha of the ummah. He has to promote the interest of the general ummah. He's a leader. He cannot, issue a statement that may, cause maybe some sort of communal friction. So basically, but if you want to follow the religion to the principles that are set, the basis of the religion, you are denying salah being an obligatory part of the religion. You are a kafir. So you cannot go and be, hiding or trying to twist, undercover that, oh, well, what if these people don't observe some practices of the religion as obligatory? They don't practice them. This does not justify you. The principle is, if you deny the salah, you leave it out, you are a kafir. It's as simple as that. You leave it out, not out of laziness, but because you believe it's not obligatory, it's not part of the deen. This is kufr.
Also, he said he was being takfir. I didn't hear anybody claim that he's a kafir and fiqh and he's wajib al-qatl. And we have to, separate every Ismaili from his wife or something like that. No. We're talking about his aqidah. His aqidah is clearly kufr. He is kafir in aqidah. There's no negotiation about this. This is absolutely clear.
Yeah, but the thing is that you guys didn't let me say this to him. It's a very important point, right? It says in here, it's conditional as long as he doesn't reject Islamic religion, right? So we need to know what are the criterias of Ayatollah Khamenei for someone to go out of Islamic religion to the extent that he rejects Islamic religion. And one important, very important thing he says is that unless they abuse or insult any infallible imams. So in the context of abusing, right, making false hadith or by twisting the narrations to make it their own narrative, does this consider to be as abuse towards the imams? These are very important things that you guys failed to actually notice from the source he brought himself. But I was not given the chance to raise this issue up because we are not dealing with a layman here, and this question was raised from a layman, and the scholar gave answer to a layman, but he actually, Ayatollah Khamenei, put a very important point in here, right? When he says that unless they abuse the imams, the word abuse itself is a big criteria. So if, for example, a very Ismaili scholar, right, he twists our narrations, he lies upon our scholars to make his way seem true, actually he's violating the abusing of the infallible imams in the source that he brought himself. So this actually proves that Khalid is a kafir according to Ayatollah Khamenei, and he's out of the fold of religion. So just read the answer of Ayatollah Khamenei maybe 3-5 times, then you would understand. Of course, if there's an Ismaili who is just a layman, right, and he's just following what he has been taught, he's considered to be a Muslim, right? But if he actually knows the truth, he knows what is the haqq, and he's trying to twist and lie and try to abuse the imams, he will be out of the fold of Islam. So this is conditional, okay? It's conditional. This is what I wanted to say.
أحسنت أخي.
Thank you.
Exactly, Akhi. So even when you read the statement, it's conditional and it's using certain terms. Now you go bring a fatwa. Of course, Ayatollah Khamenei and all the Maraja, they have tens of fatwas. I don't have them memorized off head. But this fatwa does not help you actually. It doesn't help you. The basis of takfir is you deny the salah to be part of the religion. You deny going to Mecca. You deny fasting in the holy month of Ramadan. In other words, you deny the Holy Quran. So you go against the religion of Islam. You go against the Prophet, basically. So on this, sugar-coated terms that Ayatollah Khamenei being head of state. He's not, so he's a head of state. So under this sugar-coated terms, you're actually a kafir. Well, you wouldn't realize it. And of course, unfortunately, he ran away. He left. He ran away because he knows, he knows what's coming. And if you check this website that is posted, which I pinned, this is a general ruling here. If you actually reject the salah, not out of tasahul or tasamuh, you reject it out of inkar, then you're a kafir. If it is out of Assalamu alaikum. to everybody. And of course, if anyone has anything further to state, please feel free. I think the snake will not come back, to understand the statement or the terms in the statement of the fatwa. So I don't think we should expect the Khalil, the snake, and Danny to come back. He wants to be Muslim and he doesn't want to pray. Not only he doesn't want to pray, he wants to change the religion as if the religion is actually his father's property or it's the Agha Khan's property. So if anyone has anything further to state, please go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Am I audible?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So Sayyid Rafid, I think you've covered the points. The one thing I mentioned in the chat, which I'm not sure you covered specifically, is that the fatwa he shared of Sayyid Khamenei, it refers to purity and impurity. So it's referring to najasat and taharat, which is a separate bab altogether. So it's look, I'm not going to comment on the Islam of the Agha Khanis. I think you've made the position clear, and I believe that is the position of the 12 is not just the contemporary scholars, but if you look at the history of our scholarship, they've been pretty firm on this. I think just this fatwa of Sayyid Khamenei is actually talking about impurity and purity, not necessarily the kufr or Islam of this group.
Yeah, but Hamza, even if not, like I take it a step further, right? I say all of them are Muslim, right? No problem. But in here it says, unless they abuse the imams, right? And when you go to the dictionary, all of you just go Google what is abuse, right? What is the word abuse? It basically means harmful or wrongful treatment of someone, right? So, for example, there is a hadith, right? They distort it and they try to twist it, or they lie upon our scholars or our imams, or they try to fabricate a hadith to prove their point, right? These are all abusing, right? So this is actually for the layman. This fatwa is for the layman, and the line is drawn, right? And the line between Ismaili being a Muslim and a non-Muslim is if they are aware and they're actually triggering and they're abusing the imams. So this actually proves that Sayyid Khamenei is actually slapping Dr. Khalil, and he's calling him a kafir according to this fatwa, because Dr. Khalil, according to brother Muhammad Rafid and his explanation in YouTube, he made 60,000 videos, hours of hours explaining the lies and how in his website he twisted in order for his narrative to go forward. So these are all abusing the infallible imams. So actually, this fatwa shows that Dr. Khalil or anyone who lies upon the imams or tries to trick people to go away from the right path, which is believing in the 12 imams, is a kafir. This itself, what he brought. But
sure. So just to add, so I mentioned the point about this fatwa talks about purity and impurity. You've talked about the actual insults and the abuse towards the Aima, which is a valid take as well. And the third point on this fatwa is talking about violation of Islamic, rejecting Islamic laws. But rejecting Salah is not a law. It's a tenet. It's a foundation. So the fatwa talks about, so if you reject the laws, you're not a kafir. But when it comes to Salah and Soim and Hajj, these are not laws. These are the foundations. These are the tenets. And this is established not just in the Shi'i corpus, but in the Sunni corpus as well, and through the Sirah of the Prophet and through the Quran. So there's three angles to this fatwa which make it not applicable to the point that Khalil wants to push. So I think it's very dishonest from Dr. Khalil. He's an academic as well. So from an academic, I'd expect a much better approach to things. And it's unfortunate that you'd have to use such a weak evidence to support his baseless claim. It's a real shame. It's a real shame.